Hey, what is up, dudes and dudettes? This is Dudediligence here. Apologize in advance if I started coughing in the videos. As you know, I went to the hospital yesterday. Was okay. It feels like I explained it in so many videos. But I think I got exposed to COVID, but I'm not really sure. But since you guys are, a lot of you are rattling me on Twitter, and a lot of you are just MMAT diehard fans, okay? If you're MMAT diehard fans, and for those who were salty, sure, I'll be damned if I'm wrong about reverse split or whatever. And what you guys will see, what you guys see is, all you can see is this, right? All you can see is this, and what you ignored is this, right? And again, same thing happens month before. All you can see is this. And then this is also a coincidence, by the way. There's no PR correlation. There's no actually product update correlation. I'm sorry. Product update correlation. All of this is just because all of a sudden market sentiment becomes a little bit better. And then what you also forget is all of this. With reverse split and reverse everything in here, it accounted for about 70% of loss over here. And no matter what you do over here, like I did, leveraged options, and then you trade it up by having minimal hedging, you still will have at least about 20% loss because you have to risk hedge, okay? Anyways, enough salt here. Let's just look at what we had over here. So I have the RSI index over here. A lot of you uses this. I think it's very preliminary, but it's a really good indicator for those of you who just get it started into stocks. You might think this thing would be very accurate, but in reality, RSI in a very volatile and downturn market, especially during uncertainty, the 30 value line is actually useless because RSI is purely based on the 3 indicators you have over here, and different people have different indicators. Of course, I have my reasons of having those indicators, and I also have other indicators that would help me determine why that would be a really good indicator. But in this video, I'm not gonna teach you guys how to use indicator or my assumptions of all my indicators. But in here, I just need to tell you about the assumptions that RSI makes. So one of those assumptions that RSI makes is RSI is basically, it's like a continuation ups and down return indexes. Okay, that means when you have a stock keep getting beaten down, of course it will be lower than 30, but when it started to have a sudden movement, it will spike up. But when RSI spikes up, it also means that the movement sustain is actually less reliable. The sustained movement is less reliable. Like I can just pinpoint it on 2 examples here, right here, right? And if we do right here, right? Does that make sense? And if you go over here, you see when RSI dipped down under 30, and then in here, this is a different situation. So that's not it, right? And if we want to go over here, well, nothing happens. These are all different situations that we can come back when we're talking about when it's a bull market or when it's a bull turn. In here, most likely what's going to happen is this will become a sort of like a bull trap in here. Because in this case, the sustained volume increase actually isn't that much compared to the percentage increase. And if we go and look at the minute chart of MMAT, this is the minute chart of MMAT. I'm about to sneeze, but I can't. Oh my god. Oh my god, being sick is so bad. This is the minute chart of MMAT. You will see that you have a lot of those flattening lines that also indicated that you have a higher spread of slippery cost. I will post a video about what do you mean by slippage cost. That's very important when you're trading options, but in this case, if you're just purely trading stocks, it's not as important, but it gives you a liquidity consideration. But if you go and look at classic good liquidity stocks like Apple, you will see there's no slippage, you see? And if we go back a few days for MMAT, you will see that, oh, there are less slippage here. Especially if we go back a little bit more, like if you go back here, you see the slippage is actually quite healthy for a very small stock, except for right here. But if we go back a little bit even more, when we're talking about when it's at $2 range, you see the slippage is much healthier, okay? But if we go to the present day, you will see that the slippage is actually very unhealthy. Not only very unhealthy, it's also, okay. It's also almost stagnant. 5-minute chart, almost the similar things. And 15-minute chart, almost the similar things. And you will see that the highest like if you guys are absolutely bullish, the probability of you have a 5-day run all the way towards $3, or in this case $2.8, when if you want to push for 2.92, which is a very solid, interesting consideration on the support lines, sure, it will go up here. But what's gonna happen after it reaches that point is, are you guys gonna pump and dump, or are you guys gonna sell it? Like, what's your game plan here? Do you wanna push it further up to $5? Is that even possible? Do you think there are enough fluid cash there to support the stock? And for those of you who are holding the bags, when your average cost is over $5, even if it go to 2.8, or right now if the stock just doubled to 3.6, you're still facing a 1.2, which is 1/3% loss, which is 33% loss. And for those of you who are being salty and be like, oh my god, back in when it's like 2.8 whatever, you guys are like, oh yeah, we sold our most of the position. For this chunk of for 1/3 of position that we sold over this upside, we're actually super happy, because you got to look at the long run here. It went down to here. That means for those of you who bought over here, you're just gonna keep back holding. The reason why people back hold is not because their primal instinct of thinking there is gonna be a pump and dump is wrong. You know what? It might actually be a pump and dump towards $2.9 or whatever. Right now we can utilize options and leverage it a little bit to bet on that upside. But in the long run, this stock is not really traded. It's not traded at its real value, because fundamentally speaking, it just can't support it. Like my old video I talk about, it has to drop down towards these lines. No matter what it behave in the near future, in the long future, it belongs over here. And especially with how interest rates are performing, and then the fact that their cash are decreasing, and then we also find a very compatible company to MMAT. And what is funny is their CTO used to work in that company, and that company also went through the same thing. And because our thesis is we don't believe that people will change, and the people who runs the company, the company is company are companies based on who runs it. So if people who runs it have the tendency of leading company towards those kind of ruins, it's most likely that it will have the same fate. So maybe 3 months from now, a lot of you who panics out over here or over here might even thank me when it went through another reverse split. And for those of you who keep back holding it, will still say that I'm done. But anyways, this is this for this video. I gotta go to sleep now, take some meds, and wake up early tomorrow morning. Hopefully this video helps. If you like this kind of content, smash a like button and subscribe, and see you guys on the upside.